time out. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Ay, why I never saw you in the field though? Ay, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic.
Hey, can't.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Hey, exit.
Brings up 3rd down.
Cousins being chased out left. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, QB. Come on.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Hey, Ringo, 48.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Vikings first down.
Zebra. Smooth. Drop deep. Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic.
Cousins now from the 50. It's complete to Diggs. 25 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Check three. Shift. Black. Check safety. Gun. Check 43. Hot.
On the carry, it's Cook.
Go.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. A look at Kerryon Johnson, 2nd-year man out of Auburn. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
11. Shift. Hey. Wise motion. Hey. 54.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
James has got it. Complete. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Let's go.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Easy.
A first down carry here for Johnson. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Crunch time, defense.
Check 22. Check 26. Check 26.
SOS.
General West.
SOS.
Here's Stafford. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
They still playing soccer. Recon, 132 fighter. Football.
Check.
Kill.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Get in the weight room.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Stafford throws complete to Galladay. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Now Cook. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
64, weak.
A gain of 4 yards. And the Vikings first down.
Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Good routes here. Gun. Hey, zoo.
All day, dog.
Cousins on first down. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, Minnesota.
The hug. 180. 25's the mic. Let's go.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Running from the shotgun with Madison. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Jahan, 180. 25's the mic.
Let's make these babies cry.
Two. Wide.
Make these babies cry all the way back home.
Hey, high 7.
No gain on this.
6-6, pull it high. Through.
36.
Hey, 382. One touch.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
Watch twist.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They come out here in the eye.
Hey, man. What?
Hey, can't.
Out. Check 37.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point try by Bailey. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Lions 7. Dan Bailey to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now on 2nd and 16, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
It's a gain of 21 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All day, every day, any day. Watch twist.
Omaha, ready to move.
Twist, twist.
Hey.
Promotion. 57's Mike.
Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This one out quickly to Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Blue 60.
Hey, come on now, come on now. You go tight. You got tight. You got
22.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
Stafford on 1st down.
Under 10.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, and it's caught here. Amendola. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
57. Mike, 57.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Check 52.
Double right.
57.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Stafford. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey, I got him. That's me. 57's the mic. Watch 57. I got him.
Mike's 57.
Throwing again is Stafford.
We want it. Come to my
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
80 weapon.
Tighten up. Hey.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Mike, 54.
Hey, easy. Watch the slant.
Double right.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come.
Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. We got this.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Rhino.
Hey, I'm coming.
Hey, yo.
Check 24.
Where's the hot?
Throwing his Cousins. Buying time to his left.
Nickel.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Darius Slay on the coverage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Hey, flipper. Bang. Rhino.
Slam.
Where's the hot?
Cousins.
Undercrunch. Wide.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 20.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He's coming. 50, stay 50. He's coming, double up.
Hey.
Take it.
Zebra.
On first down, Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 49-yard line.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Pick it up, D. Check. Hey, middle.
Check hot route. Hot. Whip.
Topper.
And that'll set them back 5. So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7.
Check. Crunch. Hey, easy.
57.
Stay 50. He don't know no better.
57's Mike.
Pretty hot.
Back to throw, Stafford.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Alert!
57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Bravo!
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
Oh, no, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
2 yards on
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
at the 47-yard line.
Again, it's Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Set the tone, defense. Two-jet bomber. Kill.
Big edge.
Yellow.
Hey, 25's the
Hey, wahoo!
The Mike.
Lucky 50. One touch.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
Hey, no, easy. Hey, Charlie.
Showing it.
Hey, flipper.
He's checking. Crash. Check 99. Check 99.
Rose.
He's coming.
Gun.
Double up. Check.
To throw is Cousins. Flushed out right. That's into the hands of Pascal. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Last stop.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight. Through. Hey, Haywood.
Kill.
Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic.
Watch the screen.
Hot.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this one is right down the middle. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
40 got.
Hey, check Mike 57. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
And that's going to be incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Drill right, 22.
Mike 57. Hey, watch the screen.
Now Stafford. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
I just grab a nugget when I can.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Jahan, 180.
25's the mic. Hey, they scared.
300.
Check 50.
First. Hey, Alpha. What's that?
From the 45 on second down, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on third down. Move the sticks.
First down, Minnesota.
Hey, Steamer. Hey, Orbit.
Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 20.
Play action now. Cousins. He'll let this go for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Will Harris, the rookie from Boston College, who picked it.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Big 20. Hey, easy.
They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
At the 23-yard line.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
53, ready. Hey, Echo.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Everson Griffin picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Come on now, let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pick up there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, he's going to let it fly. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Ringo. Hey, turn it up.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And it's third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down.
Watch that. Wide. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the ship.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They run it again with Cook. Cook able to escape. And he's got some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 40 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Again, it's Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
A gain of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Lady, get that quarterback, D-line.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Vikings, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.